King Charles brings his medical team to Scotland for an important get-together at Balmoral. The royal medical household team are in Scotland for a visit to Balmoral where King Charles and Queen Camilla are in residence, it has been reported. The King is spending a quiet weekend in Royal Deeside to mark the second anniversary of his mother's death on Sunday. Queen Elizabeth passed away at Balmoral on September 8, 2022. Welcome to Royal Pancakes. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell, so you don't miss any news about the British monarchy. According to Richard Eden, the Daily Mail's well-connected society diarist, the medical team are also staying at the estate for a meeting to discuss all health matters relating to the royal family. A medical source said, "It's an important get-together. The King, 75, has been undergoing treatment for an unnamed form of cancer. The Queen, 77, who returned to royal duties last week before heading back to Scotland, is thought to be in rude health." Her Majesty met Sandra Tyler and Jill Hitchman, who were both undergoing a chemotherapy session. Noticing that Sandra was wearing a specialist hat which helps to prevent hair loss, she remarked, "You've got your ice cap on." Camilla also engaged in a light-hearted exchange with Paul Holdway, a 55-year-old nurse and patient undergoing a stem cell transplant to treat his blood cancer. When asked by Her Majesty, "How are you feeling?" Mr. Holdway replied, "I am feeling very tired." The Queen responded with a touch of humor and said men won't admit it, in an apparent reference to her husband. She has made it clear she would prefer Charles to slow down during his treatment. The royal medical household is made up of a number of professionals at the top of their fields, who also usually work across the NHS and privately. Unlike other parts of the royal household, their names are not revealed publicly. In June, the King personally honoured his top medical team, including Dr. Michael Dixon, head of the Royal Medical Household, who was made a Commander of the Royal Victorian Order, CVO. Dr. Fiona Butler, a West London GP whose royal role is apothecary to the King and the Queen's physician Michael Dooley were made Lieutenants of the Royal Victorian Order, LVO. A Buckingham Palace spokesman declined to comment on this weekend's medical conference. However, a royal source told Eden Confidential that the meeting is an annual event not related to the cancer treatment of the King or the Princess of Wales. Queen Camilla, 76, debuted the piece at the event, pinning it on her blue sash just above Queen Elizabeth's family order, which features a portrait of the late monarch on a yellow ribbon. Camilla received Queen Elizabeth's family order in 2007. Royal watchers have been waiting to see King Charles' family order since his accession in September 2022, and Queen Camilla is the first person to wear it. The tradition of commissioning a family order, a badge worn by female members of the royal family personally bestowed by the sovereign, was established by King George IV over 200 ago, Buckingham Palace said in a statement. Family orders have since been instituted by Queen Victoria, King Edward VII, King George V, King George VI and Queen Elizabeth II. The honour was specially created for women in 1821, in part because only men could receive many honours. The family order is personally given out by the monarch without consultation with the government, traditionally after a female royal has been acting as a working member of the family for several years. Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, also attended the state banquet honouring Japan's Emperor and Empress. However, she did not wear King Charles' family order. She did sport Queen Elizabeth's family order, which she was bestowed in 2004. The Duchess of Gloucester, who was given Queen Elizabeth's family order, also didn't wear the new accessory at the state banquet. Missing from the evening dinner were two other prominent royal women, Kate Middleton and Princess Anne. The Princess of Wales, 42, is a regular face during state visits, but she is continuing to stay largely out of the public eye amid her cancer treatment. Princess Kate joined the royal family at Trooping the Colour on June 15, but the outing did not signal a return to royal work and public life. Meanwhile, Princess Anne, 73, is in the hospital recovering from an incident over the weekend. King Charles' sister sustained a concussion and minor injuries consistent with a potential impact from a horse's head or legs at her Gatcombe Park home on June 23. The Telegraph reports that the Princess Royal is suffering memory loss related to the incident, which is thought to be temporary. The King, 75, kicked off Royal Week in Scotland on July 2 by participating in the ceremony of the Keys in the gardens of the Palace of Holyrood House. King Charles, who is continuing cancer treatment, received a royal salute and inspected the Balaclava Company, 5 Scots Guard of Honour. The royal medical household is made up of the key physicians entrusted to care for the royal family. They are professionals at the top of their fields who also usually work across the NHS and privately. Unlike other departments in the royal household, the medical household is not listed on the royal website and details of it are not outlined publicly. In June, the King personally honoured his top medical team amid his treatment for an unnamed form of cancer. Dr. Michael Dixon, head of the royal medical household, and Charles's GP Dr. Fiona Butler, known as the apothecary to the King, were recognised for their personal service. Dr. Dixon was made a Commander of the Royal Victorian Order, CVO, and Dr. Butler is now a Lieutenant of the Royal Victorian Order, LVO. Awards of the Royal Victorian Order are in the King's gift and are bestowed independently of Downing Street to those who have served the monarch or the royal family in a personal way. Dr. Dixon's appointment as head of the royal medical household following Charles's accession drew criticism due to his outspoken support for alternative therapies. Also honoured as an LVO was Michael Dooley for his role as the Queen's physician. A Buckingham Palace spokesman declines to comment. However, a royal source insists that the meeting is an annual event not related to the cancer treatment of the King or the Princess of Wales. King Charles, as he became near the royal family's Balmoral estate in Scotland on September 8, 2022, had been the longest-serving heir apparent in British history. The day when he both lost his mother and finally fulfilled his destiny was revealed in intimate detail by the Mail's Robert Hardman in his recent book, Charles III New King. New Court. The Inside Story. The biographer told how Charles was addressed as Your Majesty for the first time over the phone, when he had been driving back to Balmoral to be with his mother, who he knew was seriously unwell. His Majesty had stopped his car and took a call from his late mother's private secretary, Sir Edward Young, who informed him of her passing. The Queen died in bed at her Scottish retreat just 2 days after accepting the resignation in person of former Prime Minister Boris Johnson and meeting with his successor, Liz Truss. Mr. Hardman wrote, King Charles succeeded to the throne at the wheel.